Hey guys, it's Wendy here with Wendy's Plans, and today I thought I would show you how the new pens that I ordered perform, how they compare to each other, and all that kind of stuff. This is not going to be like a swatching video. I do have ink in all of my pens. I will tell you everything that I think is important to know. Um, so I put these in this little glass. These are all the Jinhao pens that I ordered. They were in sets of 3 for $19.99. And I was really curious about these the most because they do look like a sailor pen. Here are my actual sailor pens, and these are the pens by Jinhao. So as far as look is concerned, they do resemble the sailor pen. Um, but they're a lot better value. Now I will say these two sailor pens run a little less than $200 each, and that is a lot of money for a pen. And I recognize that. I will say this pen, I got a really good deal on it in a pen shop in Kansas City called the Pen Shop. And I got a really good deal on this one. They had just been sold, and the guy that was there gave me a discount on this pen. They're still there, as far as I know. They're still there. They're just taken over by new owners. And I love both of these. This one I purchased at the pen show in Raleigh. It's called the Triangle Pen Show, and I really like it. I got a really good deal on that one too, so I didn't pay full price, but regular price on those is around I want to say 175 to $200. So that being said, I found this sailor pen. But this pen is called it's the Cheery fountain pen Moonlight Surface Long Night, and it is in fine point. That being said, the two that I have here are Pro Gear, and they are both medium fine point. So it's not quite as fine as this one. That being said, I find that these in a fine point versus my Esterbrook in a fine point are two different levels. This one writes to me like a medium. Um, these both for me write like my, where is my, this is my Decimo, and I have a um vanishing point here. Both of these and the sailors write the same, and this is a medium fine, this is a fine. So you will find that through any pens that you get, the nib can be different. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write a sentence, and I'm going to tell you what I think about this pen. Now, some of the things that I like about this pen, and I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up. Oh, right there is a good shot. You can see the sparkles in it. Now, I thought this was going to be a lighter purple than it is, but I kind of actually like this color purple. So that kind of works. And again, this is a fine point. I do post my pen, and that means I put the cap on the back of the pen. So we're just going to try to write down a sentence and see how it goes. Okay, that is just by printing. Now, I find that this pen writes really well. It was a lot cheaper, and that is the reason I got it to try it out. This pen was $37.99 in comparison to the other Sailor pen. Now, what I really want to do is to compare it to this these Sailor pens. There, you hear the feedback of the nib. I wouldn't say that it is scratchy. This one is a lot smoother than this one, but this one still writes well. You still have the same feedback. I guess that's what it's called. Um, it doesn't feel scratchy at all when you're writing. It is a smooth, but this one does seem to be a little bit smoother, and that's probably because this is a better quality nib than what's in this one. However, for the price difference, this is not a bad pen. I mean, you're saving over $100, and I really like the look of this pen. I like the feel of this pen, and it really, I would say, out of a 10, this is like a 8, 8.5. I really like this pen. So there we go. Now, I am going to give you a little bit of story before I tell you about these pens, or we get to these pens. I inked up all of these pens, all 6 of them, and I had 2 of them didn't write. And I was like, well, I guess I still have 4 pens, and I paid $40. They were $19.99 a set. So I was like, that's still $10 a pen. So I think that's still a good deal. Well, I thought, Wendy, if you break the pen, you're no worse off because the ink is not flowing. That was the problem. I knew that was what the problem was. I knew the ink was not flowing down through the nib. So I knew there was something that was holding the ink flow up. So I messed around with the pen a little bit. They're all 6 working. They're all 6 working. So we're going to test these pens and see what we think. Now, when I tested them, I just I'll show you. If you'll see right here, that's where I just kind of scratched to see if the ink was flowing. That's all the testing I've done. So we're going to take these in turn, and we'll set that right there. We're going to take each one in turn and see what I think. So these are called Jinhao, and they really are, they're made in China. They are, let me see what I can pull up here on them. They're called Jinhao 82 fountain pen. They are $19.99. Let's see what else. In the one set, we had the purple, the blue, and the green. And they did come with converter. Now, the Sailor, I had to buy a converter separately, but these came with the converter. Now, these also came in just a clear sleeve. This did come in a regular fountain box. It was boxed up nicely from Sailor. And then the other colors are called, is the 82 fountain pen transparent mixed Morandi color. Yep. And so they came with the converters also. So we're going to try these and see how they write. Now, the first thing that I notice is, I want to see if it tells me on here. These are mediums, and it's not bad for a medium point. It is a little bit thicker than here. I don't have a problem with it. Ooh, forgot how to make my F there for a minute. Okay, it writes well. It's actually writes pretty good. It's smooth. It does have, it's not really a lot of scratchiness that I feel when I'm writing. It is, you hear it on the paper. So let's try the next one. I am just going to go out there and say, I think this is the difference between the ink brands. This one looks finer than this one, but not as fine as those. Guys, I'm I'm liking them. I'm going to zoom you in just a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. I'm I'm kind of liking them, to be honest. And the reason I wanted to try all six is to see if there was a quality difference between them. And sometimes I can tell a difference when I print and when I write cursive. So that's the reason I'm doing the line in both. This one, and again, part of this could be the ink, really writes the best between those three. So we'll put that one there. Now let's try the other set. These are medium also, I think. Yep. This one writes really smooth. Between these two, I like this one better, but this one writes really smooth. And I really think too, I know these were sample inks that I had, and these two, all of these had different brands of inks. I think all of them actually has a different brand. So let's see. This one I'm pretty sure is my Visconti ink. Yeah. This one writes well, and I really like the ink that's in it. I am going to say I still like those two the best. This one really writes smooth. I would say out of the six, these are my favorites. They seem to write smoother. These still write smooth. I just feel them a little bit more when I'm writing with them. And that being said, this pen and this pen were the two that I had a hard time getting the ink to flow. And I am going to tell you what I did. Take it with a grain of salt because I'm not a fountain pen guru. I'm not. For me, I knew the ink was just not flowing because when they sit up like this for several hours and they're still not getting the ink down to it, something's wrong. So if you see, I'm going to try to hold it up where you can see what I'm talking about. If you see where the the feeder part, which is this black part that's underneath the nib, um, it was pretty much sitting all the way down, pressing against the metal. And there needs to be a little bit of room between it so it lets the ink flow out. All I did was just by my finger, I was going to say you might even still see the ink on my nails. But anyway, I just took my fingernail and just reached under there and lifted. I didn't lift it much. All I did was pretty much put my fingernail underneath it and just tweak it a little bit. And they both worked. So I think it was just a matter of getting that piece off. And I don't know that that really made a big difference. I don't know. The other thing that I did to try to fix it was remove the ink. The converter that's in it had ink in it. I just unscrewed, popped it off, and then I put it back in, thinking maybe there was an air bubble or something trapped or whatever. But they write fine now. Are they worth three for $19? Absolutely. Absolutely. Honestly, they write as well as my other pens. They write well. I mean, guys, these are like a cheap knockoff kind of Sailor, but then they're made in China, I believe. But guys, they work fairly well. And this is my philosophy. And again, you can take this with a grain of salt. I am living on a retirement now because I retired and I get Social Security and a retirement check from where I worked. Actually, it's not, the money came from them, but it's in my own management company now, finance management people. So if I can get 6 pens for $40 and they write good, then that's what I'm going to buy. I have a couple of pens that I spent a lot of money on. And do I regret it? No. The Visconti, I actually bought it at the flagship store in Florence. The girl changed it out, put my initials in here. It was a great experience. The experience alone of being in the Visconti store and the treatment that you receive in that store was amazing. So it was well worth the price of the pen. But I'm going to tell you, I can't afford to buy six of these pens. I can't go out and buy 6 of these pens at one time. I can't do it. These two here, I bought at the trade show or pen show in Raleigh in 23. No, in 22. I didn't go in 23, and then I traveled in 24. So I bought these in 22, and I love them. Absolutely love them. I bought this one when I started traveling at the pen show. I bought this one. And then at the end of the year, after I finished traveling in the United States, I went to Italy, and then I bought this one. I have not bought another expensive pen. I have bought the TWSBI. This is another good fountain pen. I don't remember how much I paid for this one, but this is the VAC Feel 600, 700. I'm not sure the number. I think it's 700. And I bought this at Allen's Crazy Emporium in Chapel Hill. And I got this one, but it was well under $100. It was well under $100. So and it writes, oh, it's amazing. So you can find pens out there that you like that they're not going to break the bank. And so for right now, that's kind of where I'm at. Now, am I opposed to spending a good amount for a fountain pen? No. If I found something, and I'm going back to the Triangle Trade triangle pin show on the 7th of June. And yes, the 7th of June. I had to look over at my calendar. And if I find something there, yeah, I'm going to buy it. The other thing I like about that show is they tend to have a lot of ink, and I need some ink because now that I'm not traveling, I need to get inks that I know I'm going to use. So there we go, guys. I think this was good for me because, to be honest, I thought these are going to be a waste of money. And I went ahead and got the two packs of 3 because my thought process was the one pack, maybe they don't write as well as the other pack. And if I go ahead and get the one set of 3, the other set of 3 might be out. Now, they had 4 different ones. When I'm trying to see if I can pull it up. Yeah, they had more than that. How did I miss this one? You can see it here, but this is one set that they had. This is the set that I got. This is the 3rd set, the 4th set, and the 5th. So I would like to go back and get this set and this one and that one. Do I need all those pens? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, I will tell you, they have the option of medium, extra fine, and fine. When I ordered mine a couple weeks ago, my only option was the medium. So they've gotten more in, apparently. So, guys, these are $6.66 a piece. That's a deal, guys. It's just a deal. Might have to look at them. I do have a sister that uses fountain pens, and she may get some. But I will say I was on the fence. I didn't think they would pass my judgment. But they would do really right well. And guys, if that's all you can afford and you want to get into the fountain pens, they are well worth the money to do that. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was long-winded and I just ranted and raved, but I will say all the pens were good. Even my Sailor, that was less than $40. Yes, $37.99. It writes well. It has a little more, I think they call it feedback, when you can hear it when you're writing. And it doesn't by any means feel scratchy when you're writing with it. But it does have a little bit of that. But I will say the other two have a little bit of that sound with it. They write a little bit better because of the quality of the nib. So, guys, all of them were worth it. I'm just saying. And they were on Amazon, so head on over there and get you some pens, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, guys, leave me something ink pen related down below, whether it's ink or a pen or whatever. Until next time, guys, bye-bye.